Aquarius, the water bearer. Here's your reading for December 2017. Remember, guys, that this is a general reading. So all of the messages will not completely resonate with your unique situation, nor are they entirely meant to. The energies and messages here can either be coming directly from you, or they can be happening to you from an outside source or from another person, for instance. So take what applies and leave what doesn't, okay? If you'd like to book a personal reading, go ahead and check the description box with the link there for information upon how to obtain one. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bless the decks, and then we'll get started. Beloved God, I open all channels of light, north, south, east, and west. Guardian angels of the four directions, my counsels who serve the law of one, holy pure ones, anchor this space now in your divine consecration to provide Aquarius the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they are meant and or intended to be. Okay, Aquarius, we're coming into the reading with the Four of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Aquarius, so here down the center is the main issue at hand for you. So we have the Hermit here with the Four of Wands and the Chariot reversed. You could maybe be dealing with the Cancer. As of now, that's all I really see. So Aquarius, I feel as though for December 2017, I can see here that you are trying to integrate more successful ways in being spiritual and trying to understand yourself in terms of the healing that you need so you can move forward and you can be proud of really who you are. You've been really working on this, and I can see this here, and it has been working. But the only thing, Aquarius, I feel is that you're experiencing possibly some stagnation within this process. You are experiencing kind of difficult ways to move forward. And I feel, Aquarius, with the Chariot reversed here and the Four of Wands, I feel like there is possibly kind of, it's a little bit difficult for you right now to accept certain things. I really think that acceptance is a really big theme for you this month, in terms of accepting the good and the bad in situations and in your life, and how they can either hinder you or possibly propel you to move forward with things. And I also see here with the Hermit, you could be possibly dealing with a Virgo as well. I can see here that you have been going within, and you have been really kind of situating yourself in terms of where has life brought you? Where has life taken you to? Where has life hindered you? I feel like all of these questions are kind of bubbling in your mind. And I want to say I'm also picking up maybe some form of anger is kind of coming up a little bit as well. But anger from possibly maybe not avoiding those certain circumstances or those certain situations that maybe have held you back. When we see the Chariot here in reverse, it can imply not taking the good with the bad, or the bad overriding the good. And that's causing some stagnation within yourself in terms of not being able to move forward, not being able to even the reins out in terms of the good and the bad, and making sure that there's acceptance between the two, and even acceptance of the two, so that you can then move forward in an even direction or an even trajectory. But I do see that it is working up to a certain point, and I do see the yearn to want to move forward. And with the Four of Wands in the center here, you are seeing those good things and you are implementing them, and there is a success. But at the same time, with the Chariot reversed here, there is a little bit of that stagnation. And I really believe that acceptance is a big one here for you. that it's a little bit tough to accept things that you cannot change and things that you can change. And that's where I believe that maybe some anger may show up within your quest to move forward. And I believe that the acceptance is going to be a big thing for you in terms of pushing you forward. Until acceptance comes up or until acceptance is accepted, you're going to experience these moments of stagnation. But also remember that if these moments of non-acceptance or not being able to accept certain things in terms of the bad, really look at them, Aquarius, and really see why they have affected your life as so, and why do they prevent you from moving forward. It's really going to be a month of introspection for you, I really feel. And once that is figured out, I feel like it'll help you move forward in a more consistent manner. Now, of course, I also want to tell you before flipping over the cards on the side here that we don't really completely solve our issues. We do solve some. All that we can really do, Aquarius, is go within and see how you can cope with it. That's pretty much all that it is. And when we cope with our issues, Aquarius, we can then learn the triggers. And I feel like the triggers are going to be really big for you this month. You're going to see them. You're going to see how one situation is contingent upon a reaction or a behavior. When that is realized, that's when we know that when someone within our environment may possibly unknowingly or unconsciously do something that triggers that realm of unacceptance for you, those traits or those aspects. When someone unknowingly or unconsciously triggers those within you, that's what's going to prevent you from moving forward. But when you recognize those little aspects, those little traits, that's when you'll be able to, I feel, move forward, or at least more in a consistent manner or in a more consistent trajectory, I feel. Okay, Aquarius, let's go ahead and flip the cards over on the side and see. Okay, King of Cups reversed. The Death card here. King of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands. Okay. So, Aquarius, I'm going to go over here for a second. This is where I feel, Aquarius, that you're going to deal with those issues that come up. And I feel like the Knight of Wands is here because it's trying to show you that you're going to have to really see and really understand where these issues come from and understand where they belong or where they manifest from. And it's going to be a quest or something of a voyage for you. And you're going to understand exactly how some of your traits or some of the regions of your anger or of your frustration, let me say, how they can either prevent you from moving forward or how they can actually propel you to move forward. And I feel like when you realize these ways as to which they affect your life, that's when you're going to be able to bring more into your environment. I feel like you're going to be able to be the King of Pentacles and acknowledge things and know what has the right to come in and what has the right to come out, or what has the reason, or what is the reason, I should say, for things exiting or things coming in. Because we have to allow the negativity to be acknowledged and then to be understood. When that happens, then that's when we'll have an even amount or an even pool within the reins, or on the reins of moving forward. You could possibly maybe be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. You maybe could be dealing with the Scorpio, or a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So I feel like this month you're really going to have to keep your eye on the prize, Aquarius. You're going to really have to understand how your stability is delegated and how important your stability really is to you, in the form of changing that which you can, and then changing that which you possibly cannot, or maybe just come from a place of acceptance for what you cannot change. And going back to the Knight of Wands here, I kind of feel though It's all about moving forward, Aquarius, but it's going to be moving forward, but realizing how other people's actions as well, how they are applied and how they are perceived. You're also going to realize, and I feel, Aquarius, that also this month, you possibly are going to, you're going to have hiccups or bumps down the road. And that's okay. That's expected. That's how things are supposed to happen that's how we recognize certain things that we do, or certain things that we react to, or certain things that we allow to be that of a hindrance. I really feel, Aquarius. And it's okay if things don't maybe work out the way that you like them to at first, but it's not really about, it's not, I'm sorry, excuse me, Aquarius. I kind of feel like it's not really about the quantity. It's more about the quality, I feel. It's going to be the quality of how you approach it and how you perceive it. Moving over here, and I feel, Aquarius, that you're going to have moments of maybe feeling a little out of control, or maybe your emotions kind of really coming to the surface and really maybe not sitting with you correctly. I also feel, Aquarius, that you're also going to notice this in maybe other people. And my guides want me to tell you, Aquarius, that you're going to see reactions of other people as well, I feel. You're going to see them respond to you maybe differently. And they may be somewhat surprised at maybe how you respond in certain instances or upon certain circumstances. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of healing for you this month, Aquarius, but you're going to have to be really mindful as to the process of it. And when these issues, of course, come to the surface, it's going to be dependent upon how you react to it and how you understand it. Because if it's a pain from the past, you're going to have to remind yourself that that's your pain to sort of be introspective about. And it doesn't give us, nor you or anyone else, the right to necessarily lash out at them when you are reviewing your past. The past is there to review, but not to stay within it. Because then we will never move forward, and that's why we review it. Because it's there to remind us as to why we have moved on from it. And I feel as though, Aquarius, as well, that the Death card is here for you because this is going to be the moment of transformation. And also, I feel with the Death card here right above the King of Cups reverse, there's going to be a transformation in terms of how you understand maybe manipulative ways. You're going to understand how maybe sometimes as humans, we tend to manipulate certain situations so that we have the desired outcome that we seek or that we yearn for. Sometimes it's necessary, but only if your heart is in the right place in doing so. Only if your heart is in the right place to help the other person as well as yourself. But when we start to try and maybe manipulate the situation in terms of maybe more in the lines of our own satisfaction and then the other person's maybe detriment, that's not the right way to do it. And I feel as though you're going to see this month. It's going to be something that's going to be very prevalent. And going back to the idea of things coming to the surface, we need to always make sure, Aquarius, that we approach situations from our heart and we approach situations as we would like them to be approached pertaining to us. Also, Aquarius, I'm also picking up to tell you, remember to always strive for leaving situations better than you found them. And it's going to be a lot of practice, of course. This is going to be a journey. This is not going to. It's not something that's going to kind of just happen overnight. It's going to be something or somewhat that of learning to control. I feel like control is a really big theme here as well this month for you. Control, absolutely, because we'll never really approach the Four of Wands in terms of having that first layer of foundation be successful and that you can build upon it. Unless there's some form of control, unless there's some form of proper and control in terms of delegation and taking the good with the bad so that we can then move forward. But when the Chariot's in reverse, that can imply as well maybe not taking your end of the responsibility as to how you add it to that situation or add it to that circumstance. And it's going to take, once again, a lot of acceptance. I feel like acceptance and control are going to be two of the big themes for you this month. And when we do this, Aquarius, that's when we achieve the King of Pentacles. That's when we achieve the stability that we need and that we require. And I also feel, Aquarius, it's going to take a lot of spirituality as well. Now, spirituality comes in the form as to which is very, it's kind of different for everyone. Not one umbrella term fits everything. It's going to be how you perceive it. And it's going to be what makes you comfortable and what you accept and what you want to come into your life. And it's a little tough, Aquarius, to have guided direction in terms of from an outside stimuli, or maybe in terms of another person, maybe telling you your own path in life. You can maybe ask questions, you know, in terms of like maybe, how did you move forward? How did you develop spirituality? How did you do this? How did you do that? So, you know, you can gain maybe some sort of consensus between or throughout the environment or the population. But it's going to be very unique towards your own needs. And it can and is a little bit frustrating sometimes in terms of moving forward with their spirituality. But I feel like when you do, Aquarius, when you find it, when you find those aspects that add to your life that bring your spirituality in, and when it's implemented into your life successfully, that's when you're going to have a lot of the Four of Wands moments. I feel like that's another thing about the Death card here, that's a transformation. But you're going to be on the quest to understand it, and don't get upset or get impatient if it seems like it's not being done fast enough, Aquarius. It's also very interesting here too with the Chariot here, that, yeah, it's very interesting that on with the Dark Horse here, right, on this side, the King of Cups reverse is here, and then with the Light Horse, the King of Pentacles upright is here. That's when I feel, Aquarius, that there's a difference between being emotionally manipulative or manipulated. Since it's general, I'm going to throw that in there as well. And just kind of having your emotions kind of come out and just kind of affect everyone in your environment. That's the bad part. But the good part here is being reliable. But no, not really reliable from other people, but reliable on yourself as well. And that's the good part, Aquarius, is adding to that situation or to your stability and being successful with it. But it's going to be that of polar opposites. But in the center here, that's where you achieve what it is that you would like to achieve and what the goal ultimately is. So these are going to be two things for you this month where I'm going to feel, or I feel, that you're going to come in between these two things, where it's going to be either you're going to have really successful moments, or you may have moments of kind of irritation, moments of kind of emotional manipulation. There's going to be these two things as well that's going to happen. And I feel like, once again, this is acceptance and control. This is the exact opposite or the antithesis right here with the King of Cups reversed. Let's flip these cards over. Three of Swords reversed. And the Seven of Wands. Interesting. Okay, Aquarius, yeah, I think the end cards here kind of solidify my main points here. When we're on a quest to understand what we're doing and how we want to get there, and understanding how our creativity, how it's applied to our environment, when that is successful, that's when we become the King of Pentacles, which we add those techniques or those aspects to being successful. When we do this, Aquarius, and there's an even amount of this, or one is contingent upon the other and they're both successful, that's when we come out of heartbreak. That's when we don't disappoint ourselves. We come out of that disappointment because we never reached the disappointment because we took care of what we need to take care of. And I feel like on this side here, King of Cups reversed and the Death card, it's going to take that transformation of how you approach situations with your emotions and how it's approached and how successful it really is. Is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Was it done in a heartfelt manner? Was it done with the proper intentions, with a positive outcome that was best for all? When we don't do this, Aquarius, this is where we have to fight for what we want. Yes, we always have to fight for what we want, of course. It's very important. But we want to fight for what we want that is going to add to our stability in a successful way, so we are the King of Pentacles. Because then if we fight for what we want, but we know that it's maybe just it's for our own selfish need or desire, that's when we're going to continue to fight for it. And people around us won't maybe oblige us. And then we're fighting basically against ourselves. I feel like that's kind of what's going on here in terms of if this isn't done the proper way. But I feel like with the death card here, that's going to be the moment where you're going to see how maybe at some times you may be annoyed or you may kind of get irritated. And then you're going to see how it's going to affect the whole entire environment. And then you're going to have to then be like the Seven of Wands here and just keep fighting for what it is that you want. But it's kind of fighting for something that isn't really important. But then it is going to be important at the same time. See the duality here. That's my main point, what I'm trying to kind of bring up to you today. So you came into the reading with the Four of Pentacles reversed, giving to the situation, giving to the process, giving into the process, and knowing that that's what needs to be done, you know, for sure. Cards are getting a little out of whack here. So you have the Empress reversed here. Let's be careful what we create. Let's be careful what we give to the environment. We want to make sure that it's successful in terms of our outcome. Be confident in ourselves as well, knowing that we can create that which we need. Confidence is a big one, and also acceptance as well, Aquarius, because this is not acceptance. This is not being successful in it as well, because you're not creating that which you desire. Creating that which you desire in an appropriate manner. Here we have the Ten of Cups reversed, Aquarius. You know, this is maybe not being happy with other people. This is not being happy in terms of being emotionally fulfilled with other people or within an environment where there are multiple people that are involved. So I feel as though this is going to be another important thing for you this month, is to realize when we want to be happy with other people and when we want to be happy with the group, we have to also realize that we must oblige other people within the group, and we must do that which doesn't necessarily negate what other people want. I mean, and vice versa as well, Aquarius. You know, they have to give it to you as well, and you give it to them. You know, it's a form of reciprocity. But just be mindful of that this month, okay? And I feel like here with the Death card as well, that it's going to be a big month for you in terms of recognizing your emotions and recognizing how they work and how you need to acquire what you need. Because if we don't recognize the emotions, Aquarius, and we just keep on ignoring them, that's when we don't move forward. But I do feel like with the Four of Pentacles here that you are giving to it, to the process at least. But you're just seeing some stagnation because I feel like your emotions aren't really being figured out right now. They're not completely being recognized and how they affect you. So, but with the Ace of Pentacles here, this is pretty good. I like this here for you. This is accepting the offer. Accepting the offers of other people, as well as accepting the offers from yourself, from letting this emotional burden or the emotional burdens go within your life. So that then you're fighting for the appropriate things, not fighting against yourself. And I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is a good card here for you. This is really accepting the offers, but also accepting what you can control and what you cannot. But knowing that everyone goes through those moments or periods, Aquarius, of not being able to control certain things, not being able to successfully pull the reins, you know, or the reins upon that horse. But it's okay because it's a process. This is a process, of course. It's not going to happen overnight. And as long as you're trying, and as long as you are implementing things that come from your heart, you'll be okay. You'll figure it out, okay? All right, let's pull a Jesus card. Okay, whosoever you shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. John 16:23. And then have faith in God, Mark 11:22. Okay, Aquarius, I feel like with these two cards here, you have to ask, Aquarius, for what you want from your higher self. From who or whatever it is that you confide in. You're going to have to really ask this month. And to also ask to give you the strength as well. It's possible, Aquarius. You just have to believe in God, or believe in your faith. Believe in the goodness of where everything comes from. The place where everything that's great comes from, and that is love, Aquarius. And when we do that, that's when we're going to be able to move forward, Aquarius. But we have to recognize it. We have to also want it, Aquarius. That's another thing too. We can ask for it, but do we really want it? Because when we want something, Aquarius, we're going to be willing to work on it. We're going to be willing to take the good with the bad and move forward. But if you really don't want it within yourself, Aquarius, it's going to be quite difficult for you to put the work into that which requires the work to get the expected result. That's why if we really want it, that's when we'll work at it. And that's when it'll be successful. And that's when we'll come out of heartbreak or come out of that which binds us or keeps us down and keeps us within that realm of non-acceptance. Okay, Aquarius, I want to flip this top card over here. Yeah, once again, see, ask and it shall be given you. Matthew 7:7. That's really what it's all about this month, Aquarius, is ask. And look, with the Ace of Pentacles here, ask and you'll get it and you'll receive it. But you must have faith within the process. You must have faith within your higher self or that in which you confide in, Aquarius. It's all about asking, but you can receive it, but you have to want it. That's the only thing. Okay, Aquarius, I'll let you go. Hope you appreciated your reading. Check out John 16, Matthew 7, and Mark 11. Something's going to be in there for you. Okay, Aquarius, we'll see you.